What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Guy on the Couch Sports. Tonight, our Maple Leafs defeated the Washington Capitals 5-3 with an empty netter by Pierre Engvall. This is not a pretty game tonight. And looks like they're finding ways to win, but they're winning some ugly games right now. Tonight, they blew another 3-1 lead. Like, I don't understand how this team just can't shut it down after, taking a big lead. Why is that such a problem for this team? And it's not anything new. It's just something that's been ongoing with this team for what seems like, I don't know, 9-10 years? I'd go back that far. We've had several different coaches, and none of them can seem to help this team defend a lead. They don't even play the same style either. Babcock played a dump and chase kind of game. Keefe plays more of a possession kind of game. And it doesn't seem to matter who the coach is. This team is horrible defensively. I don't know if that's on the defense or if that's on the goaltending. I was just saying to someone last night, the last time the Leafs really had like an elite goalie probably would have been Ed Belfour. And that was 03-04 would be the last time I've seen an elite goaltender in the nets for the Leafs. That's pretty crazy. I feel like we're wasting Matthews Marner's prime years right now in not having a goalie who can help them, who could support those two. And that's partially due to their contracts as well, too, though, because those contracts don't really allow you to go out there and sign a stud like Markstrom a couple summers ago. Had they had extra money, they could have done something like that. But now you're going to have to try and find average goaltenders who can, you hope, can win you a couple rounds, win you some games. And that's where we're at now. We can't really afford an elite goaltender, so we're looking for average goaltending. Goaltending that can just get the job done and ultimately maybe steal you a cup. Like right now, this is Jack's first full season in the NHL. He didn't play tonight, by the way. That was Mrazek that won this game. And over this time, now it's looking like, at the beginning of the season, everyone thought Jack was going to make like $8 million on his next contract. And it's looking more like he's coming right back down to around maybe the 3.5, 4 range. I mean, Mrazek's making what, 3.5? Does he really deserve that much more than Peter Mrazek right now? Yeah, you can say, in the past, Jack was our stud, but that was in the past. What have you done for me lately? You got to average it out, right? Right now, Jack's average save percentage over his career is 0.917. And right now, currently, it's sitting at 0.917. So he's playing average. Does that deserve a huge bump up in salary? I don't think so. There's a good chance. I don't know. Maybe Kyle could let him walk. Maybe trade for somebody else. We all expected Mrazek to be the one to be going in the offseason, but maybe it could be Jack. Maybe not. I'm just throwing out potentials here. Don't get mad at me. I personally like. Again, we needed 4 goals to win tonight, and that's what it's coming down to. We needed 8 to beat Detroit. Ultimately, we scored 10, but we needed 8. We're back to the stage where when we had Freddie, where you almost needed 4 per night with him as your starter. Mind you, he's doing well in Carolina right now, as expected. It always happens. So what's the issue when it comes to goalies in Toronto? I couldn't tell you. Honestly, like other than the fact that we just haven't been able to draft an elite goalie or pick up an elite goalie in free agency, nothing else I can tell you about the goaltending situation on this team for the last 10 years or so. It kind of bothers me because I feel like that's just what's been missing from this team, right? To take that next step in the playoffs. You need a goalie that can steal you games, steal you rounds. And we have never had that. Freddie choked every time it came to the postseason. I mean, the whole team choked every time it came to the postseason. But I can say most of that had to do with the fact that they didn't have a goalie that could just drag them into the fight and steal games for them. Now, their 2 potential opponents in Tampa Bay and Florida actually do have goalies that can potentially steal you games. And that's what actually worries me when it comes to thinking of us facing either one of those 2 teams. I am not a big fan with our current roster playing those 2 teams. Our first line is amazing. I think they'll match up well against either Florida or Tampa's first line. I'm not worried about that. Our second line, meh. I don't really trust that second line right now. Do you trust that second line? William Nylander looks like he's going back to his old ways. He's scoring goals. Yes. Yay. He's scoring goals. That's, we need that too. But he's not doing much else on the ice. He's still afraid to take hits to make a play. He doesn't do that. He is afraid of body contact. I'm not sure how many hits Willie is throwing this year, but man, if it's over 20, I'll be shocked. But the boys won tonight. We'll give them that. This game felt really weird to me. How did you feel watching it? When I was watching this game, they had 3 goals in the first period, but it didn't feel like they were dominating the game. I think they were lucky to be ahead 3-1 by the end of the first period. It just didn't feel like a game where they took control. The offense tonight felt like their talent took over the game more so than their work ethic. Maybe it's because they're dealing with the flu that's going through the team, which is quite possible. Maybe that might explain even Saturday night with Detroit. The team's just not feeling well, so they're looking a little sluggish out there in the games. And that's definitely possible. I'm hoping that's what's happening right now. So, technically, Mrazek's won the last 3 games for the Leafs. He got the win Saturday night as well. But I feel like with the way Keith's been going, I feel like he's going to do the whole switcheroo again and put Jack back in net. Because Jack's your starter and you want to see him get his confidence back. Yep. Cool. Am I a fan of that? Absolutely fuck no, I'm not. I mean, I guess because they have a bit more room within the standings right now. They're what? 8 points ahead of Boston. So you got a little bit of wiggle room here to play with. Rotating your goalies to see which one can catch fire. Mrazek's finding ways to win. They're not pretty at all. The goals he gives up are absolute trash. But the team's bailing him out. And they're scoring. It just seems like when Jack's in net and gives up the goals, it just keeps coming over and over. It's just the floodgates open up when he gives up the goals, right? And the team seems like they collapse. I don't know what it is. Are they losing confidence in Jack? We know Jack's losing confidence. I know everybody's saying, we can't get a goalie right now. But maybe we can. Tonight wasn't a goaltending issue, mind you, but they still blew a 3-1 lead. I didn't like any of the goals that went in tonight either. I don't know. How do you feel about the goaltending? I look at this team and I'm like, they can score. Their second line's not doing that great right now, but they can score. The third and fourth lines, do an adequate job. So if they can get the second line moving again, offensively, they'll be able to keep up with either Tampa or Florida. Defensively, looks like they're playing a lot better without Jake Muzzin. That's not good. He's making $5 million. You don't want that. But that's what it's looking like right now. Justin Hall has missed, two or three games? And has come back since. And he's looked decent. He scored a goal tonight. I think he had a couple assists Saturday. He's been looking all right. He's definitely not costing you games right now. Maybe it was Jake Muzzin that was holding him back this whole time. Maybe. Because he's looked pretty good with Brody. But then again, Brody, I guess, makes anyone look good. That's how good of a defender Brody is. But we still need more defense. Absolutely. There's no question about that. I think we still need a couple more defenders. Maybe one, because we just got Lubushin now. So maybe one more. Preferably a top four, but that's going to be hard to come by. Especially since Kyle doesn't really want to give up his high-end prospects right now. And I understand that. We got burned last year when we gave up a first for Foligno. That still pisses me off when I think about that. I was not happy about that trade then, and I'm still not happy about that trade now. I don't know what Kyle's going to do come to deadline. It's about 3 weeks away. But man, would I love a goalie. I am so concerned about going into the playoffs with these two goalies. Last year, I went into the playoffs extremely confident in this team. They still let me down, but I was confident when the playoffs started. They got a 3-1 lead. I was crazy excited. I was like, yes. 3-2. Okay, we still got another game to eliminate Montreal. 3-3, whatever. We still have another game. And boom. They just couldn't score when it mattered most. The power play just went away, and right now that's going through a dry spell too. I believe they're 0 for 8 on their last 8 power plays. Tonight, I don't think they even got a shot on the power play tonight. I don't think Matthews even got a shot tonight. But he saved the goal earlier, so Matty doing Matty things. Even when he's not scoring, he's still doing things that matter, right? JT had a good game tonight. Considering what he's been through lately, and he's still dealing with a sickness, he had a decent game tonight. I cannot knock JT for the effort in tonight's game. And if it wasn't for JT, we probably don't even win this game because he had a big hand in that 4-3 goal. He was like a horse out there. You couldn't get the puck off of him. And ultimately set up Sandin with the help of Justin Hall again. Like I said, Justin Hall had a really good night. You got to give these guys their credit when it's due. I've been harping on Tavares, Hall, Muzzin, Campbell. Like all these guys, I've been harping on them the whole time they've been going through this rough stretch. But when they have good games, you need to appreciate that as well. And tonight, I appreciated the effort Tavares brought. Although Nylander scored a goal, he didn't impress me at all tonight. But that's been the norm for Nylander lately. His game is just so weak on one end and so strong on the other. Like, there's no balance to his game at all. You can say there is, but I don't believe there is. He's either going to score you 40 goals, but he's going to also give up a shit ton of opportunities against. He just by the fact that he just doesn't want to take hits or doesn't want to defend properly. He's gotten a lot better, mind you. Like, Willie's gotten a lot better. I remember a couple playoffs ago where I think it was just after he signed his contract, and that was an awful playoff stage for him against Boston. If I'm not mistaken, I think there was a goal where he pretty much just put it in his own net, basically. But that was just from the lack of effort. And it's, like I said, he's improved, he's gotten better, but it's still missing. It's not enough for me. I like the kid. I love his play in the O zone. But in the D zone, he frustrates the shit out of me. I wish that wasn't the case, because his contract's an absolute steal. If he could add a bit more defense to his game, who knows where Willie's potential could be. But man, the Leafs. Maybe it's a good thing that they'll be playing, somebody from the Atlantic Division potentially in the playoffs, because that division can score with the best of them. And if it's a track meet, I like the Leafs' chances against Florida a lot better. Bobrovsky versus Campbell. Honestly, I'd give that edge to Bobrovsky right now. Although I don't think he's looked that great lately for Florida. But overall, Sergei Bobrovsky can steal you games. Right now, it doesn't look like Jack Campbell's going to steal anything. So we're about a point away from Florida right now. I think it's very important that we can finish first here. If we can get that first place spot, I don't know. Tampa's got 2 games in hand looking at that right now. So maybe Florida or Tampa ends up in first and we switch between Florida. We end up in second or third. Either way, I want us to get away from Tampa. I do not want to play Tampa Bay. We might be able to beat them, but we're outclassed when it comes to goaltending. Florida, I definitely think we got a chance, and it's also an opportunity for one of those teams to break a what is it, a 15-year drought? 15-year drought of not making it to the second round. I think Florida is actually longer, since 96? If I'm not mistaken, I think 1996 when they went to the Cup Finals was the last time they made it past the first round. I don't know. Someone share that information with me. Let me know. Leafs got the 2 points tonight. I'll live with that. Bunton scored again. That first line, Marner, another 2 points. That first line, all they do is produce. I don't think Matthews had a point tonight. But either way, he didn't need a point necessarily to look good. He played well. You noticed him all over the ice. He had chances. Just couldn't get any shots off tonight. Couldn't get anything going. But you still noticed Matthew doing things. I don't know. Just a really, really weird game for me to watch today. But like I said, I'm happy we got the win. Who do we play next? Actually, let me check. Next game is against Buffalo. Oh, Buffalo. Okay. On March 2nd, we play the Sabres. Okay, so here's a chance to go on a 4-game streak here. You know what? I would probably put Jack in for that game, actually. I mean, it's the Sabres. Here's a chance to see what you really got. If he can't beat Buffalo on Wednesday, then you have big issues. I already think we have issues. But if he cannot beat Buffalo on the 2nd, we definitely have problems. Definitely have problems. So I'd probably go with him then. Let him play. Maybe that might help him get some confidence back. Let's see what he can do. But tonight, Mrazek looked good. Good enough. We scored 5. Scored what we needed to win. Coughed up a 3-1 lead again. Whatever. Made you look good, like I said. Nylander scored. Tavares, a couple assists. Hall looked good. Kerfoot looked good today. It's not bad. Not a bad outing. I'm okay with it. Let me know what you thought of tonight's game. How did you feel watching it? Like I said, I felt it was weird. Maybe it was just me. But it just felt like the whole team was lagging behind tonight. Even though they got the win, it just felt like it was a very slow, sluggish game for them. But let me know how you felt about the game. Leave me a comment, like, subscribe. The whole works. And we'll talk. Have a good night. Thanks for listening. Got to Couch Sports.